Okay, you saw the thumbnail, no beating around the bush. Finally got myself a Micro Galaxy Squadron gunship. Now, I was kind of hesitant to get the original one, because for $30, I was like, you get 2 little figures and a gunship, and that's it. There's so many empty spots in the gunship I want to fill with figures, and it just didn't feel worth it. But recently, Jazwares, the company that makes these Micro Galaxy Squadron toys, just announced 4 variants of the gunship. 4 of them, which was a little intimidating to me, as well as an additional one. They're going to be doing the Tiger Shark gunship at some point here soon. That one I'm definitely 100% going to get. However, when it comes to all the variants, I'll discuss them because they're on the back of the box, but I decided the one that I wanted was the Crumb bomber, because it's still in the classic Attack of the Clones red. However, that salacious Crumb, Kowakian monkey lizard, whatever you say, that I always thought that looked really cool on the side there. And for the same price, $30, you get an additional 3 clone troopers and a bark speeder. And just as these came out, Target was like, hey, we're running an offer where if you spend $30, you get $10 off your purchase. So for me, this was $20. So yeah, for $20, everything I'm seeing in this package is very appealing. So before we even open it up, let's take a look at some of the aspects of this package, because I think it's a really cool box. I really love the shininess right there of the Micro Galaxy Squadron, just that kind of foil look. The figures look really neat for as tiny as they are. Kind of think this was a missed opportunity to give you a second pilot and 3 troopers, but oh well, I'll take the troopers, I guess. One of them will just have to be a co-pilot. You can see the side shows some of the functionalities of the vehicle. Not a lot, but it's got some going on. You can see it's got 135-degree motion. And then it's just got some things, it looks like, oh, you can put the bark speeder in the back. That's really cool. And then you have some things in that. This is actually my very first Micro Galaxy Squadron toy. I'm not much of a vehicle collector, and when I am, it's the 3 3/4-inch Hasbro stuff. So I wasn't really looking to start a whole collection of the same things I already have, but smaller. So that's why I don't do Black Series, because it's the same thing I have, but bigger. However, on the back of this box, it does show the variations. So I got the Crumb bomber, obviously, because it's the most traditional, that it just has the salacious Crumb deco on it. So we have Plo's Bros, which Target also had that one. I do think the blue looks really cool, and I do like the Plo Koon motif. However, if I'm going to get the Tiger Shark one, just having 2 blue gunships, I wanted one a little more classic. So I decided to go for the Crumb bomber. Unless the rest go on deep discount, I don't plan on having a fleet of little gunships. Because, at $30 each, just these 4 alone at $30 each. Oh man, that's $120. Then you get the one that's already out, that's $150. And I ain't got the money to blow on little gunships. And then the Separatist Nightmare one's really cool. I don't recall where these appeared in the Clone Wars, if they did at all. Genuinely not sure. I'm not too much of the kind of person to pay attention to little details on vehicles like that. But still, it's really cool. It's got like a skull clone trooper design on the front, and it's green. And then the Coruscant Guard one looks really cool. Unfortunately, the little figures you get are not unique to each gunship. All of them are just straight up, standard clones. That's all they are. If they were individual little figures, I might have been a little bit more tempted. But, the way I see it, I got a gunship. Let's do it. Let's open it up. Gunship time. I am actually kind of excited for this, especially since I didn't have to pay $30 and I get extra stuff. I'm really, really happy I held off, because I held off getting the standard one for so long. I was thinking like, man, I want it, but 30 just seems steep for what you get. And now, I got it for 20, and I got 3 extra figures and a bark speeder. Let's go. All right, so here it is. Yes, there's the box. Let's get the box out of the way. I've noticed that the backdrop is actually very usable. Look at that. That's actually really cool looking. I dig that. I don't know if I'm going to keep it, but it is actually a nice way to display the thing, because you can see Micro Galaxy Squadron right there. Yeah, I might kind of leave this in the background when I do the final thumbnail photo, maybe, I don't know. I do know they did a little ATRT blind pack, and the little blind pack things. Never got that. Again, this is the very first Micro Galaxy Squadron thing I've gotten. We'll set that off to the side for now, though, because let's open this up and see what we got going on. So immediately I'm seeing there actually is like visible like missile racks, which is really cool looking. So it's like when you detach this, you can actually see the missile right there, and I'm sure it'll kind of get covered up. You can rotate the turret right there, which is really cool, and it is like properly angled too to still kind of be horizontal. I never recall if like figures are actually supposed to go in there. I mean, obviously here they're not. So far the plastic quality seems pretty good. It's a little flimsy, a little bit, but it feels like good plastic. Definitely feels like good plastic. I like the wash on it. Looks kind of Geonosis-y and all weathered. All right, let's get the little bark speeder out. I'm liking the lack of tape and rubber bands. You know, just one little thing keeping it on. So with the little micro galaxy things that I got from Rust Belt Collector, I was disappointed that these little bases for the little micro vehicles doesn't come with a way to like have the figure next to the vehicle. Because we'll see if this guy fits any better, but the little Scout Trooper and the little Mandalorian, they don't fit on their speeders too well. However, this bark speeder, if I don't drop it, looks pretty good. I'm really digging that. I've seen a lot of little toy bark speeders in my day, and this one's actually holding up. Really like the decos on it. So one thing that is a little bit of a disappointment, but it's actually really cool. This is like a separate little capsule. Oh, and look! It's got like, oh, it's such a cool little thing. It's like an unboxing experience. So I really like this little capsule for the figures. I'm not going to lie. I think that's really neat. Wonder if I can just like pour them out. Yeah, there we go. So we get 5 little tiny clone troopers. They're so small. Look at how small it is. It's so small. They did paint the backs of the knees, oddly enough, as well as the hands and the visor. And honestly, for a little clone trooper, that's pretty much all you need. So, again, I do think it would have been kind of been cool, you know, if the Plows Bros were Wolfpack, and then the Coruscant Guard were like the proper, you know, Senate Guard outfits for the clones. But, you know, just the fact that you get these little white guys, I'll take them. And you get a decent amount in this set. Because originally, the standard gunship, it was, you know, $29.99. You got 1 pilot and 1 trooper, and that was it. But now you get 4 troopers, and this is the same price, by the way, as the original. Same price, and you get even more troopers. So we're looking at 4 little tiny troopers, and the paint's really good on all of them. So we got 4 little dudes, and then we have a pilot. I love clone pilots. And this one, I love the little yellow detail. I love how it actually has the hose painted on. And the hose is actually painted really well. I mean, look at that. It even has a little bulge right there where it kind of slots into the helmet. Man, that's a really nice looking pilot. They all have the same articulation. You can move the arms. You can move the legs. Man, you can actually move the legs independently. I didn't realize that. I thought the legs were all in unison. But no, the legs are independent. At least I think so. Either that or the plastic is like totally bent out of shape on this one. Because this one's independent. But the others, let's see. Is this independent? It's like it feels it, but I think it's not, you know? Like it is, but it isn't. I don't know. It's confusing. Well, anyways, I do kind of wish the troopers were holding little guns, but it's okay. All right, I've talked about the little figures long enough. Let's get the gunship out, because this is the main event. One of my personal... oh my goodness, it's on my elbow. There we go. There we go. That just flew out. So let's get this out. Oh, there goes that. Oh, there's little missiles in there too. Okay, gunship out. Pretty easy, pretty pain-free unboxing experience. Oh, that's on a ball joint. Well, anyways, let's not get distracted. Let's assemble it. So, does that open up? Ooh, how does that open up? Oh, wow. Whoa, that looks so cool. Looks so cool. Oh, man. You don't have like a full interior, it looks like. I do kind of like the little clasps to keep the figures in, even though it's not super accurate. Okay, I'm so distracted. I actually like this thing a lot more than I thought I would, right out of the box. So one thing I really do appreciate is if you don't want this panel on, you can actually see the missiles like loading into the cannons, which I guess for like Attack of the Clones, this is kind of a more accurate look because you did see those missiles up there, but there was a little bit more covering up. So let's keep that covered because I do think ultimately it's not the best strategy to just have your missiles exposed because, you know, if someone's just flying above you and sees your missiles, they shoot them and you're done. So, like I said, this is essentially the Attack of the Clones Republic gunship. Like, design-wise, that's essentially what this is. But you do have the Salacious Crumb, or just, you know, Monkey Lizard deco on it. I don't recall what that says. I don't know if it says Crumb Bomber or whatever. I don't really care. I do like the laser turrets on the side. I do wish they had a little bit more of a range of motion. They just kind of move side to side. I wish they had like an additional hinge to like move more forward. But these definitely were more like side-oriented cannons. It's nice to see a gunship with those on there, you know, because a lot of Hasbro gunship toys kind of just neglected those in general. So yeah, let's load it up, I guess. So I did see on the box that you can lift this down. Yeah, I'm trying to open this panel. There we go. So you can open this panel and put the bark speeder inside. I'm assuming, yeah, the stand for the bark speeder on the clear is the same for this. So let's keep this bark speeder in there, because I think that's actually a really cool idea. I don't know if we can like just keep the stand in there too for storage. Curious. We can just keep the stand in there. Yeah, it kind of pokes out though. Maybe not. I don't know, it'd just be kind of nice to keep the stand in there. Just keep everything in one place. Here, let's see. I feel like we can. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Keep it all in one place. That's my design philosophy. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's if it's in there, you know it's in there if you know. But yeah, you can just store the stand in there too if you want. It's not really rattling around too much. I am noticing these are a little loose. The actual big old doors. I do wish it had the full doors to like fully close it up for the space mode. But for me, the gunship, it's more iconic having the doors open. Man, this is really cool so far. The plastic is pretty nice. It definitely has like a different feel to it from a lot of other toys I've had. Definitely doesn't feel like a lot of other things. I can tell it's like very nicely painted. There's a lot of paint on it. A lot of weathering, a lot of detail. I'm really digging it. So, let's get to it. Let's load it up. So, open up the cockpit. Let's put our pilot in the pilot seat, in the pilot chair. So, man, these figures are so tiny. I'm not the biggest fan of micro scale stuff. So that's another reason why I wasn't the biggest fan of this. I never got into like Action Fleet or anything like that. My brother did. My brother liked Action Fleet. But I was never the biggest fan. So, you know, I don't think I'm going to collect this line hardcore. Man, it's nice to see two troops in there. And let's load up these ball turrets. Oh, man. It's so nice they give you enough troops to, like, you know, even though you won't have, like, extra troops to just, like, totally load it up. At least with this set, they give you the ones you need to, you know, at least man everything that needs to be manned. So I'm assuming the legs go in between right there. Man, this is really finicky. Oh, it's so finicky. Oh, man. Is it doable? Because I'm assuming you just kind of... Can I get him in there from up high? Because it seems like those are softer plastic. Maybe I can kind of, you know, wedge him in. Yeah, the seat's made out of softer plastic, so I can just wedge him in. Let's do it. I will keep him very secure in there, though, once I get him in. Almost. Come on, bud. Almost there. His arms went down. This is why I don't like tiny stuff, man. I mean, I build Gundam models, so there's a lot of tiny things involved with that, especially if you're going, like, real grade. But this, ooh, I am having a time trying to get this little trooper in here. Maybe someday. Oh, there we go. We got him in. We got him in. So thankfully, with all that fiddling, I don't think he's going to be jarring around in there. I mean, maybe a little bit, but yeah, you can see him in there. Oh, it looks so cool. It looks so cool. All right, next one. You know what? I'm not going to make you sit through that. Of course, it was a lot easier actually having this close to my body, but, you know, that's just how it is. And lastly, we'll have one trooper in the bay. I won't have him on the bark speeder. We'll just have one guy chilling back there. He's the reserve trooper. He's just chilling. He's like, hey, you know, if one of you guys in the cockpit dies or something, let me know. I'll head up there. I'll just chill back here for now. So the clips do hold him in fairly decently. I don't feel like, you know, kids playing around with this thing. I don't think the troopers are going to fall out. Yeah, I mean, a kid swooshing this around, they're not going to have any issue with that. Because ultimately, toys are for kids. Some people forget that. But yeah, I'm kind of tempted just to get another gunship of like one of the different varieties. Just to use one of them to have one like fully decked out. You know, have two pilots, and then have the bay totally loaded up and have someone on the bark speeder. But honestly, this is a very nice presentation. You know, it's all loaded up with troops. You at least have one in there, which is nice looking. If I had any complaint, I wish one of the figures was a pilot. You know, just be kind of nice to have another pilot. And I do kind of wish the troopers were a little bit more specialized to each gunship. I can understand this one being normal, regular troopers. However, Plo's Bros, like, come on, they should be Wolfpack. You know, they should be Wolfpack troopers. But still, this is a very nice toy. Is it worth $30? Ooh, $30 for this. I don't know. It doesn't, I mean, it's got some heft to it. It just doesn't feel like $30 of toy to me. It doesn't feel like $30. You know, I think 20 to 25 is pretty fair for this, but 30 is a bit steep. I'm very happy I did not pay $30. However, I will pay $30 easily and swiftly for the Tiger Shark version. So, I promised it at the start of the video. Let's plant it right there. The wings get in the way. That's always the issue with gunships. Oh, does this move? Yeah, that's on a ball joint too. Awesome, that's really cool. So, there we go. Doesn't really stay on the base too well because it's kind of, you know, it's a gunship. It takes a lot of space. Yeah, now that I'm seeing it, that's actually not a very good presentation. It's just too big. Maybe if you packaged it, you know, maybe if it's kind of similar to how it was packaged, you know, like flying around like that, that'd look a little bit better. But just sitting there, yeah, I don't even like that at all. So here we go. Here's the Micro Galaxy Crumb Bomber. I've been waiting to talk about one of these Micro Galaxy gunships for a while, and I'm happy that I did. Because, yeah, for $20, I'm really happy with this thing. You get a lot of little troopers, you get a lot of little fun, has many features that you would expect from a gunship. I just don't really think it's worth $30 for me, but again, I come from a toy collecting realm where this is one of my only micro-scale vehicles. Pretty much the next closest I get are the Transformers Star Wars crossovers. That's the next closest I get to something like this. So, yeah, it's, you know, micro scale. You get really tiny little figures. Just to give you an idea of the scale on this thing, here's my default 3 3/4 inch comparison because he's always right by my desk. This thing isn't even 4 inches tall. Like, it's not 4 inches tall. You know, it's maybe 6 inches when it comes to, like, the length of it. Yeah, it's not very big at all. Like, the figures are tiny. Like, look at the size of the figure compared to this boss. It's tiny. And this is the 3 3/4 inch boss, by the way. I know some people may be like, is that the Black Series? No, it's the old, like, Shadows of the Dark Side style package for him. So here we go. Let me know what you think. Are you going all in on these bombers? Me, personally, I'm not. I just don't have the willpower to spend that kind of cash on the same thing in different colors, especially when the troopers themselves are all identical. It's all about the gunship. And it's kind of one and done with this. You know, once you have a gunship, you know, do you really need another one? For me, I definitely need that ARC Trooper Tiger Shark one because they did make the figures different. You do get Captain Fordo and ARC Troopers. So that is one I 1,000,000,000% need in my life. The Tiger Shark gunship is by far my favorite too. It's the only one I own in Hasbro scale, unfortunately. Fingers crossed we get a HasLab gunship, because I would be all in on that. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for watching. Special shout out to the channel members as well. Thank you all so much for your continued support. Alrighty, guys, there we go. Have a great one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.